Now, before we get started, I would really love if you hit the subscribe button and the notification bell so you can get the latest content from the YouTube channel, The Last Rewind. And don't be shy about leaving your comments at the bottom of the page because you are the sole reason why this channel will be successful. Thank you.
As WWE fans, it can never be good. We can never have anything. When you think it's getting good, think it's getting better, the product is getting better, in my opinion. Product's getting better, storylines are getting better, but there's a cost for that. So if you don't know, WWE is doing business with ESPN. Their PLEs, premium live events, pay-per-views, if you want to go old school with it, are going to be only on ESPN starting in 2026. The WWE is price gouging, man. They are trying to just price out the common fan to the point where you're going to get tired of it and you just don't want to support the product anymore. First, it went to Netflix. Now, that wasn't as big of a jump because for the most part, we all had Netflix already. So them going to Netflix was, I guess, a decent move, you know. If you didn't have Netflix already, I guess you were affected. You know, before that, you know, they were on Peacock for about $10. You could get all the PLEs and retro events and anything WWE related. It was there on Peacock, and along with it being on Peacock, you have access to things on Peacock like television shows and movies. So that wasn't terrible, but now it's looking like Raw is still going to be on Peacock. It looks like SmackDown is still on cable. And it looks like the PLEs are going to be on ESPN. PLEs, that's including your big boys. That's including SummerSlam, like we just had SummerSlam, WrestleMania, Survivor Series, maybe even Elimination Chamber, Royal Rumble, things of that nature. And those are the key PLEs that sets the tone for the year, if you will. If you want to zone in on certain storylines, they either can end or develop at these pay-per-views, i.e., an example, Lesnar coming back. We got Lesnar, Cena. He came back SummerSlam. Seth not crossing, but Seth faking the injury and winning the belt against Punk. And that's going to be ongoing. And those are moments that the WWE is in my opinion, trying to shut out from the common fan. I've been a WWE fan since forever. And I remember when I was little, you had your pay-per-views on cable, and you would order the pay-per-view, and you were like $50, and it was a big deal then. So I remember like my old man ordered throughout the entire time of my childhood. My old man ordered one WrestleMania, and it was the WrestleMania Bam Bam Bigelow fought Lawrence Taylor. And that was the only time my old man ever ordered WrestleMania. I went to my friend's house and would watch other WrestleManias. I say that because as children, you know, we probably, depending on what side of the track you're from, maybe your parents had it like that where they can afford every WrestleMania. That's why it was such a godsend when Peacock came along, and for $9.99, $10, I get every pay-per-view for $10 a month. I'm a grown adult. I can pay this. I'm good. Let's go. WWE is taking that away from us, and I go back and forth on my relationship with but how I feel with Triple H, Paul Levesque, because I do think Paul Levesque is a brilliant wrestling mind. I was telling my co-host this, Red. I think Triple H is a brilliant wrestling mind. If you go greatest wrestling minds, Mount Rushmore, I go Vince, I go Bischoff, I go Heyman, I go Triple H. He's a great wrestling mind. He knows how to string a storyline along. He knows how to get you to hate someone. He knows how to get you to like someone on screen. He knows the business. I always say Triple H is he's way better behind the camera than in front of it. He was a decent wrestler, cut decent promos. But let's face it, in the 90s, he was basically sidekick to Shawn Michaels. And, he had an okay solo career, which was put an asterisk by it because, the Stephanie McMahon thing, whatever you want, he married her and he got opportunities because of that, whatever. But as a behind the scenes kind of guy, Triple H is really good at what he does. Check out that documentary on Netflix now. All behind the scenes, you can see him coaching and mentoring and pulling the strings. He's really good at what he does. But then on the other end, we get news like this, and I don't think this is all Triple H. Frankly, I don't think he has much to do with this decision. This is Nick Khan and TKO. And Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, you don't sit too far in the back. You part of this too, buddy, because you on the board. So you're going to take something the average fan loves every Monday and Friday and every 2 Sundays. You get a pay-per-view, something we look forward to. And now you're going to charge us $30 a month. $30 a month for 4 main PLEs, and that's Mania, Royal Rumble, Survivor Series, and Survivor Series, Mania, Royal Rumble, and Rumble. I'm sorry if I'm forgetting one, but you're gonna charge us $30 for those when we was just getting them for $10? Come on, man. Is the WWE hurting that bad because the ticket prices have gone up from what I've researched and looked into? Merch has gone up. Is it getting that bad for WWE? You're going to take your loyal fan base and you're going to price them out of your product. Now there is other competitors, your AEWs and Ring of Honor, New Japan, all of that. Yes, there's other wrestling promotions, but let's be honest. It's WWE is the big boy, and it seems right now you're gonna for ESPN. I knew, and the thing is, WWE and ESPN always had a somewhat of a working relationship. You recall, I remember Triple H used to go on First Take and talk about WrestleMania. They always had somewhat of a working relationship, which was fine. But this right here is I'm not on board for it. You can say, just pay the $30 a month. That's not gonna break me. But come on, I'm a loyal fan. I'm already paying the 10 for 10, 10, 15. It could have gone up. I don't know. for on Peacock. But at least with Peacock, I look at it like I at least get more bang for my buck because I can watch movies and television shows on Peacock as well. So that was more bang for my buck. ESPN. First of all, the only thing I really watched on ESPN was First Take, which is not as good as it used to be because, again, I did a video on this maybe a couple months ago, a year ago. All they can talk about is the damn Dallas Cowboys on First Take. Whether it's football season or basketball season, every damn segment was the damn Dallas Cowboys. Thank you, Stephen A. So what we get now? Are we going to incorporate Stephen A into WWE? I'm willing to bet somehow he will be. I'm not saying he's going to be a commentator or announcer, but he would be infused with it. I don't know how, but he will be because he is the most popular face on ESPN right now. I know ESPN's run by Disney and everything. I get that, but what you're doing is you're price gouging your loyal fan base away from your product. That's what you're doing. That's what you're doing. And you're doing it in increments. You're doing it slowly but surely. It started with Peacock, then it went to Netflix, and now this. And I don't know. Maybe I'm making this video right now pissed off, but who knows what I'll do in the future because I love the product. I want to see the product. Who knows? I may bite the bullet and go in and get it. Still not going to change how I feel, but if I do that, I guess at the end of the day, they win. But some people may not think that way. Some people may not be as, fortunate or just don't want to do it. And I can understand that. I can totally understand that. $30 for basically 4 or 5 PLEs. Now, granted, they also have the PLEs when they go overseas in Saudi Arabia and things of that nature. So maybe that's a way of trying to make sense that it's a better deal. I don't know, because in the 90s and early 2000s, WWE wasn't going overseas as much. And I can definitely say when the WWE goes overseas, the crowds are 10 times better and it makes the product 10 times better. Not that I've been, I'm just watching it. The crowd interaction is better than within the U.S. And then, I've seen some of the WWE superstars on ESPN programming talking about it as how good it's going to be for the business and how the consumer, us, benefit. Triple H gives his favorite tagline. He's like, "You ain't seen nothing yet." He's like, "Oh, you ain't seen nothing yet, man." Hush, look. Yes, we have. Yes, we have, Paul Levesque. Yes, we have. What are you gonna do? You're losing Cena in about 4 or 5 months. Roman Reigns is basically part-time. His run that he did from 19 to 2024 is done. He's never going to duplicate that. Roman Reigns is basically part-time. Your big guns is Seth Rollins and CM Punk. And let's face fact, CM Punk is on borrowed time too. What I mean by that is the company's not going to get rid of him, but CM Punk, he's closer to the end of his career than the beginning. I do feel like CM Punk is going to beat Seth Rollins for once and for all, get the title, have a run, and he's done. So, along with our favorites no longer being part of the program, and that's not their fault. I get it. They get older, they move on. So, along with our favorites not being part of the program, we're going to have to pay for our least favorites to see them in the PLEs. $30. So that means if you are a WWE fan, you have to have Peacock, you have to have cable, you have to have ESPN. Yeah, you have to have Peacock, cable, and ESPN because I think NXT comes on the CW or some shit like that. Come on, man. If it's business, it's business. But this business does not benefit the fan. It benefits the company to make more money. I mean, I'm a fan of Triple H. I feel like Triple H is a spoke on the wheel with this one. I do. I don't feel as if it's all Triple H. I don't feel like it's Triple H at all, to tell you the truth. I feel like it's the board and Triple H got to go along with it. But because Triple H is the face, you're going to see Triple H on TV promoting it and doing exactly what he's doing on ESPN, promoting the New Deal. I ain't seen Nick Khan yet, but I've seen Triple H, I've seen Cody, I've seen Roman. They are the faces. They got to get this New Deal out, but I'm pretty sure Nick Khan is the one who closed the deal. It's disturbing. It's upsetting. It is. It's disturbing and upsetting, especially if you are a long-term fan. It's long-term storytelling. You're gonna miss some of the story if you don't watch those PLEs. It's only so much recapping you can do on Raw, SmackDown, and depending on if you got Netflix, you can't even watch Raw. I've been a fan for a long time with WWE since the Vince McMahon days. I became a fan of 80s, 90s, 2000s cat. Will this happen on the Vince McMahon? We don't know. That's irrelevant because Vince McMahon this isn't his call right now. You got to take the good with the bad. Because I would say with Vince McMahon, we didn't get these quality storylines, these quality entertainment on TV. That's what we didn't get with Vince McMahon. But Vince McMahon was so stubborn, he didn't want to share his company either. He was going to stick with what he got as long as it was it was him. Very similar to Jerry Jones if you're a Cowboy fan. But the good news is it doesn't start until 2026. So that means, what is it? August. So that means you'll still be able to see Survivor Series at least. That's in November. That's probably one of the last major ones. You can still see Survivor Series in November before the change. And I'm guessing Royal Rumble in January will be their first major PLE on ESPN. And I saw a meme today. That said had Stephen A. as a commentator and calling matches with Michael Cole. For the love of God, do not do that, WWE. Do not make Stephen A. part of the announce team. You already did it with Pat McAfee, who I'm not a fan of. Frankly, I'm a huge fan of Corey Graves. I like the way Corey Graves calls the matches. I like his jokes. I like his quips. I like how he relate reality to the product. I don't think Corey Graves should be off TV and keeps getting switched out for Pat McAfee. I think Corey Graves is on now because football season is coming up and Pat McAfee has to do football with it. As soon as football season is over and they go to ESPN, Corey Graves gets taken off. I think Corey Graves should stay. So, and definitely don't replace Corey Graves with Stephen A. Smith if that's down the road. Please don't do that. But let me know how you guys feel about this change within the WWE. Are you for it? Are you not for it? Let me know. I'll see you guys in the next video. Like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. That would be appreciative. Peace.